Good evening, everyone. Let's see. Cool. I think I'll just wait for a couple more people to come on. Just checking some things out. Doing all the stuff that we need. Everything is provisioning. Think I got everybody. Make sure I'm not missing any comments. Hi, Sister Shanika. How are you? Oh, goodness. Okay, so looks like I'm going to be in two places. Hi, Sister Marilyn. How are you? Hi, Sister Carmen. How are you? Forgive me. I am going to be looking on this side because for some reason, my course on this side, my lovely, lovely comments are not showing up. As always, but I get to see all you lovely people. I see you in here. I see everyone in here. Thanks. Yes, she is back. For most people who follow the hair, she's back. She's back. She's back. So this week, I hope everyone had an amazing weekend. A great, holiday, a little day off, that you spent time with family and friends. And also that you remembered those soldiers who did not get to return home. They gave their lives, to do for us and to allow us to have the freedoms that we had. So I, pray that you spent the day remembering those. And some of you probably have them in your family. And, you've celebrated the ones that are alive, but do you remember the ones that are no longer here? So we need to just thank those all who gave their lives so that we can just do stuff like this. Just be on the internet talking about good old Christ. How about that? So this week's topic, now I'm going back and forth again because, is when God says no. I felt this was fitting because he tells me no a lot. And I think some people think that when God tells you no, it's some big punishment. It's some big thing that, he is just, hurting you, that he doesn't want you to succeed. Hi, Sister Pauline. How are you doing? Oh my goodness. Like, why is it coming up like 3 and 4 times? We'll figure it out. But when he tells you no, it is not to hurt you. It's really for your protection. And this week, we'll be just going over a few of the benefits and the reasons, of when God says no, what is he really protecting you from? Again, we cannot mistake his, protection for punishment. There's a difference between punishment and, and protection. And also between punishment and correction, so we'll address that later down this year. But tonight, we're definitely talking about God's no will save you pain. If you don't think about or remember anything else, understand that his no is going to save you some pain. Tonight's scriptures is, of course, coming from my all-time favorite. It is Jeremiah 29:11. And we're also coming from Psalms 37:4. And of course, Jeremiah 29:11 states that, for I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. And Psalms 37:4 states, delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of thine heart. And I'm going to stress that, people always say, oh, the Lord will give me the desires of my heart. Yes, but you have to preference with it says, delight thyself also in the Lord. Meaning when you line up with what he lines up and what he does, your desires become his desires, and he can therefore give you the desires of thine heart because they are in sync with what his overall purpose is for you. So, when I look back, I always, of course, start with me. when I look back on all of the rejections that I received, and all of the heartache and all of, when he said, no, you can't do this right now. No, I don't want you to be there right now. I was just like, I was devastated. I was like, well, we had a conversation like this. Well, what you mean? Why can't I have it now? Sister so-and-so down the street got it. Like, why can't, what's going on? That was my conversation with him. Like I said, I'm real go back with him as I'm like, what's going on? Like, why? But now when I look back, you know how they say hindsight's 2020? That is very, very true. Because I can see that he saved me from a lot of pain. And I couldn't see it at the moment. Sometimes the pain was, financial trouble, relationship turmoil, and just unnecessary risk. I wish I had listened to him when he told me to do something in regards to my past marriage. Like when he, sometimes when God tells you to move or to do something or don't do something and we do it anyways, we all know how that turns out. When he was telling me no, like I couldn't understand, like, why is this happening? Why can't, I have it right now? But, when you look at it now, down the road, past the short-term pain of hearing no, you see the benefit and thank him for, protecting you. Now, when you initially hear that no, it's going to be hard. It's going to hurt because you're going to be like, what did I do wrong? And what I want you to do is remember his promises. We are not alone when we walk through, our trials. You have to understand, like I said last week, God cares and he is with us every step of the way. He doesn't just throw us out to the wolves and just think, okay, well, I just be gone. That is not what he does. If you read your Bible, it is packed with such encouraging words and promises that he has given to us so that when you hear that no in reference to something that's going on that you feel that you want right then and there, you can go to the word and feast on his promises about what he has for you. Like Exodus 14:14, the Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Joshua 1:9, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord, your God, will be with you everywhere you go. So you have to remember his promises. Just because he's saying no to this right now, it doesn't mean that he may not do it later. But see, this no right now is preventing catastrophe. It's preventing premature things that could happen. And it could be just, we just ain't ready for it. Some of us know right now, when we look back and think on the things that God didn't allow us to have back then, and we have them, would we have really cherished and nurtured and fulfilled and, expand the gift and the territory that he gave us right now back then? Because I was still free willing. I was still chilling. I was not thinking about, doing anything and anything outside of making sure I'm good. So therefore, you get into this habit of, I want it, but now I can understand why he didn't give it to me right then and there. Because again, like I've always said, I am that child that you can't give everything to at once. Like you can't tell me the full story and the full vision. You have to give it to me piecemeal, because by the time you give it to me, I'm not even listening to the end, because I'm already figured out in my head how I want to do it, where I'm going to go. I'm all the way down the road. I wasn't paying attention to the detour you gave me or the stop sign I was supposed to stop at, or, I had to go under the tunnel instead of over it because I wasn't paying attention after a certain point. So he tells me no, and he has to break it up so that I don't go off on a tangent. You know, another thing I want you to remember when he tells you no in that moment is to remember the purpose. Like I said earlier, no in your trials are not punishment, although it may feel like it is. But it's seasons of growth. Trust me, you'll be like, I don't want to do this. He's punishing me. I didn't do something. No, he's expanding you. He's stretching you so that you can walk into that next season. So, you can't just be like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go full force in my ministry when you're not prepared or ready for it. That's what can happen. So therefore, he's going to tell you no and keep you still so that he can move you forward. This is where, how should I say this? This is the opportunity where our struggles can become the very thing that glorifies God. It can, put him in the light. We can see who he is, what he's about. And then therefore it is his time to shine, because there's plenty of things that he puts us in that when people see us come out, they'll know it was only God. Sometimes he has to put us in a position so that we cannot prostitute the gift. Yes, I said prostitute the gift, because sometimes we, do magic tricks and make things appear, and people think, oh, look how God is blessing, when it has nothing to do with God. So sometimes he has to put us in a holding pattern so that when people see, not only when people see, when you see, it was him, without a doubt. So that is what you do, is you remember the purpose that he's giving you, and knowing that every aspect of it is for your benefit, is for your good. Also, when you hear no and you want to be upset and you want to be hurt, you have to remember his authority. You have to remember at that point who you are and whose you are. Psalms 115:3 says it greatly. Our God is in heaven. He does whatever pleases him. Now, he's not going to torture us. He's not going to, make us feel bad for his pleasure. That is not what he's doing. But he knows that there's better within us. So therefore, he's going to have to deny some things. He's going to have to purge some things. He's going to have to move some things so that we can move forward. That saying no to us and that temporary hurt feeling that we have is going to save a long time burden of pain. That what happens was like, he's got to bring us out of that. We now got to go back to the point that we was originally at. We got to be purged from the craziness that we endured going our way and what we would need to do, because we wasn't ready to go down there, only to go back down this path the way we were supposed to go down. So not only have we endured a lot of pain, with doing it our way, but now we've wasted time. And so because time is of the essence in a lot of our purposes and where God is moving us, he's got to say no. He's got to nip it right in the bud. He's got to get it before you even get it set in your mind good of how to even execute it. He's been cutting it off at the quit. You notice that sometimes at this day and age, he doesn't even give it time to twinkle in your mind. As I was saying last week, God knows what we're going to pray about, what is going on before it even gets here. You know why? Because whatever is in here, the heart, the spirit, is a one-on-one connection. It's direct connection. So sometimes he nips it right in the bud before it ever gets up here. Or if he sees it creeping up there and it's not benefiting, he's going to nip it in the bud. But that's the thing, that is his authority to do so, because overall, we were here to move God's purpose. You know, God is God and we're not. He created everything in this universe and we didn't. You know, but think about the complete sheer chaos that would be if we could determine our own destinies. Man, if I could have determined my own destiny, I would have 3.2 kids, a mansion, billions of dollars. I don't know who I would be married to yet, but and it wouldn't be doing this because I would have just been decided when I was in my early teens what my life was going to be like and that I was going to be sitting pretty. And it wouldn't have had nothing to do with God and what his purpose is for me. So therefore, he can't allow that. Can't. You know, he sees our pain, but he also sees us as victorious over our situations. And finally, what I want you to remember when he says no, I want you to remember his goodness. Because when he tells us no, at times we kind of get discouraged. We get hurt. We take it personal, even though it's not. And then we keep saying, well, why am I continually going on this journey if I'm never going to be able to do this? Or he told me no. And why do I need to continue on? Is that a valid question? It is. And the reason I say this is because so many times, God has told me no, and I would be devastated and I would just like kind of go into a shell of myself. I would just be like, I'm not going to do this no more. And then God reminds me of who he is. And he reminds me of his goodness. He reminds me of his love for me. And so therefore, you know, that craziness only lasts but for so long. You know, we have to remember his goodness because what happens when he says no, we become self-absorbed in our pain. And we always forget and lose focus on his goodness. Mark 10:18, it says, no one is good except God alone. God in and of himself is goodness. I mean, when you think about it, it is just awesome and amazing. Remembering his goodness allows us to, allows us the freedom to place our trust in his ever capable hands because we know his ways are good, even though the situation may be bad. Think about that. His ways is good, even though the situation wasn't bad. I'm reading comments. See, Sister Carmen was saying in the comments how when God told her no, she wasn't happy about it, but then she saw down the road. And it's always in that initial phase when God tells us no, we don't see it. We're just looking like, why? And yeah, I'm making that face because we all make that face. We may not see each other make that face, but we make that face like little kids with our nose, lips poked out, arms crossed, and, all up in our feelings because we wanted something so bad. But God said, not right now, no. So when he tells us no, remember, it is solely for our benefit. When he's telling us no, he is protecting us from something or he's preparing us for something. Sometimes we want something sooner than what we're supposed to have it. So to be honest, there's times, okay, I'm going to read a comment and it says, to be honest, there were times I didn't listen to his no. That darn free will. And when I did that, my road was so bumpy, he brought me through it and I learned to listen. Look, That's my story all day, every day. I'm the queen of, I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it. I don't care. I don't care. They be like, well, that's not the way it's supposed to do. I don't care. That's the way I want to do it. I used to be the queen of it. I got tired of repeating the same lesson. I was like, am I ever going to get out of this cycle? Am I ever going to get out of this craziness? And the Lord was like, it's up to you. You asked me to do something. I go to do it. You done put your 2 cents in it. So I'm going to back up. Because remember, God is a God that doesn't just push himself on you. So the minute you try to involve yourself, he will be like, oh, I'm good. So therefore, he's sitting there and he was just like, okay, I'm just going to wait for her to come to her senses and ask me and then sit down and act like I know. Just like it was a similar scenario that I had gave regarding a little kid and the parents are in, the kitchen, y'all in the kitchen, and you as a little kid, you got this thing and you are trying to open it. Now your parents see you trying to open it, but because you trying to prove that you a big baller shot caller and that you a big kid, you struggle. And you're not gonna ask somebody because you're gonna do it on your own. So what do? They sit there. They continue with their conversation. They keep doing all the things that they're going to do. And you keep struggling and struggling. And when you get tired, because usually we always did, because we couldn't do it. Our little pride sometimes would be so hurt. And then we go, Mommy, Daddy, can you help me with this? What did they do? They didn't say, well, no, since you was a big kid, you try to figure it out. They came and helped us and opened it. And that's what God is waiting for sometimes for some of us. He's waiting for us to just say, hey, Daddy, I thought I could do this. I'm sorry. I made a whole mistake. I just stepped out of my lane. Can you take care of this? Yeah, I'm good. I'm not going to touch that. That's what he's waiting. And just like our human parents, he going to pick it up. He going to handle it. But we have to allow him to handle it. As long as we do it on our own, he's going to be like, okay, you got it. So I've learned that his no will always save me pain. It will always save me heartache. It will always save me disappointment. It will always save me stress. So continue to walk with him. Continue to stay steadfast with him. Knowing this, when we remember who God is, what he is, our growing pains are a little, ache just a little sweeter. We are rare and breathtaking diamonds, and we are made out of years of extreme pressure. Listen to that. We are rare, breathtaking diamonds. And anyone who knows about diamonds, they were always made under pressure over years. So some of us, we still got some growing to do. We still got some places to move, but we're going to be all good. I want to thank you for joining us this evening for When God Says No. God's No will save you pain. I want to thank everyone who's on Facebook watching, Periscope, YouTube, Twitter, and our broadcast partner, GMAP Broadcast Network. If you are not in the group, join us in the group on Facebook. It's YV Daily Devotionals. Go ahead and join the group. That is where we keep all of the great content, extra stuff, the things that we talk about, any assignments that we're doing within the group. So come on over and join us. We know you do. Know that myself and Minister Peterson, we love you so much. We're keeping you in prayer. We want the best for you. So we are always, searching for the best things to present and seeking God for that. So We will see you tomorrow, the same time, the same location. That is 8 p.m. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so we'll be here at 8 p.m., same time, same location. Know that we love you. Be blessed, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great, great evening. Good night.